To the Suit Direct Stadium then, shall we? And get full match commentary of Hartlepool United versus Aldershot in the National League in the company of Mickey Barron and first Rob Law.
Thank you, Matty. Both teams out on the pitch. Hartlepool United in 13th against 7th placed Aldershot, who are fighting for the playoffs and certainly have plenty to play for between now and the end of the season. 4 games left, including this afternoon's fixture. Kevin Phillips has tasked his players with reaching the 60-point mark. They need 8 points to get to there between now and the end of the campaign. And for his starting 11 in the penultimate home game of the campaign, he's gone for an unchanged side from the team that drew 1-1 against Rochdale. Pete Jameson keeps his place in goal. It's a back four of Louis Stevenson, Luke Waterfall, Tom Parks and David Ferguson, who's spoken this week about his desire to remain at the club beyond the summer, given his contract status, with Tom Crawford and captain Nicky Featherstone the deepest lying of the midfielders. Joe Gray, with 3 in his last 4, starts out on the right hand side. Callum Cook in behind, and Terrell Adjumang out on the left hand side, all supporting Manny Desirue up front. The man with 22 goals in 36 games this season. He has been the standout in a blue and white shirt this campaign. On the bench for Poole, some notable names: Max Story, Alfie Steele and Campbell Darcy, some of the teenagers brought in from the academy, given Hartlepool United's injury crisis, which has plagued them all season long. Alongside them on the bench, Shea Cooper on loan from Colchester and Joe Dixon, the substitute goalkeeper. A word about Alfie Steele, 17 years of age, spotted playing in the T6 Football Academy in the National Youth North East Premier Division, where he scored 17 goals last season. His dream could well become a reality if he were to step out onto the pitch this afternoon. As for Aldershot, as I mentioned, finished 18th last season. What a turnaround it has been under the former Hartlepool United player Tommy Widrington. He's the man at the helm trying to architect their promotion to the Football League. He goes with 2 changes from their draw against Dorking last time out. They're without a win in 4 despite their playoff ambitions. Tyler Frost and Josh Barnett drop out of the side. In comes Josh Stokes and Oliver Scott. They play with Geordie Van Stappershoff in goal. It's a back 3 of Haji Magoma, Cian Harries and Ollie Harfield. The wing backs of Ryan Glover and Ollie Scott, with Theo Widrington, the son of manager Tommy. He plays in defensive midfield alongside Tommy Willard. Then Josh Stokes, on loan from Bristol City with 18 goals this season. He is the man in the hole behind James Daly and Laurent Talage, with 24 goals for the season, the former Salford and Dundee striker. So it is a game with plenty on it for both teams. Hartlepool United trying to solidify their place in the National League, with 7 points between them and the relegation zone. Aldershot, as I mentioned, fighting for that playoff spot. Mickey Barron is the expert pool summariser alongside me this afternoon at the back of the Neil Cooper stand. He knows exactly what it's like to wear the captain's armband for this club. He knows what it's like to be in the dugout as well. And Mickey, with 4 games left to play, Hartlepool United trying to reach that 60-point mark, but they come up against stiff opposition tonight, today even.
Yeah, it's a tough one, Rob, isn't it, for the players? I think they have to do it for themselves a bit of professional pride in the performances. I know Kevin's asked them to reach a target, but it's having that bit of pride in your performance, and it's your job, and you have to go out there and do your job. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see Aldershot today. Obviously, I played with Tommy. A real good football guy. He's knowledgeable about the game, and he was sort of looking forward to come back. And I just saw the changed ends after that, and I think that's them probably winning and Tommy going, look, they want to kick towards the town end second half, so swap them round, and he'll know that. So a little bit of knowledge from him there, so it should set up for a really good game.
And thank you to ML on X at BBC T Sport is where we are there. He just says, I think some of us Pools fans are going to be late getting to the game. He says he's on the headlands. He says he left his house at 2:10 and has only got to Thorsten's garage. What a day to close a road off. So yes, me and you, Mickey, were sat here looking at the crowd and sort of questioning just what the number might be. It was certainly a much smaller crowd than the last home game when there was 4,444 to be exact. But yes, I think there might be a few latecomers trickling into the ground as Aldershot kicking from right to left, as Mickey Barron says, dressed all in yellow this afternoon. Hartlepool United from left to right in their familiar blue and white vertical striped shirts with the blue shorts and the red trim, the white socks with the red trim, as well as a red balloon just floats and drifts through the afternoon sky from the Aldershot fans over on the far side behind the goal of Pete Jameson, who's just placed the ball down on the edge of his 6-yard area and is waving his centre-backs forward.
I think it's interesting, Rob, that wind's picking up. I know we spoke about before the game, but it's starting to swirl around as well. You can see with a few of the clearances have either gone really far or just held up in the wind, so the players are going to have to negotiate that.
Well, you could just see that there from the goal kick as the ball did move around a little bit. The flag's away to our left near the northwest corner, constantly being pushed and pulled and ruffled in different directions as Aldershot do well to win it in midfield. Spread out to this near side now, looking for Ollie Scott. One of two changes this afternoon. A through ball down the line to Harfield, who is stopped in his tracks by Luke Waterfall, the former Grimsby man. Out it goes for a throw-in to the visitors. Goes up to the edge of the area for Talage, the top goal scorer and captain this afternoon. Now Willard ghosting through midfield, space opening up for him. Talage trying to wrestle his way through a crowd of blue and white shirts. Out it comes to Scott, driving to the byline, cuts a cross up into the afternoon sky, and it goes behind. The Aldershot fans who've travelled in their numbers were adamant that that was a corner. The referee, though, has pointed for a goal kick.
Yeah, it looped up from here. It looked like it did take a deflection, but
yeah, it did.
The referee didn't give it. It's interesting, every time Aldershot have the ball, they've got a lot of runners trying to run in behind Hartlepool, trying to stretch the game, and that'll give the chance for Stokes to get on the ball in between the lines. You can see as soon as anyone at the back for Aldershot gets it, they've got those runners trying to create that space.
Yeah, Josh Stokes, one of Aldershot's first signings in the summer, on loan from Bristol City. 18 goals so far this season for a 19-year-old. I mean, it's some going. That's an incredible going, isn't it?
Yeah, I spoke to Tommy about him before the game, and he said he's done ever so well coming into men's football, you know, and sort of being that age, and the amount of goals is really impressive.
As Crawford picks up possession on the half turn, finds Nicky Featherstone, the Pools captain, out to left-hand side for Adjumang, down the line to David Ferguson, who looks to put a cross into the penalty area. Takes a deflection and is just about kept in and then cleared by Aldershot into touch, but good endeavour down that left-hand side. Adjumang and David Ferguson linking up well there, and we've seen little green shoots of that over the last few games, haven't we, of Adjumang and Ferguson linking up?
Yeah, they have. The combine well. Adjumang, he's clever with his passes to get the ball into Ferguson at times, but it's sometimes just that last little bit that lets them down.
Cook finds Adjumang once more, the Buraloni, out to Ferguson, feints the cross, dips the shoulder, but is then out-muscled as Aldershot look to break in midfield. There's Stokes, that man, once more. Out to the left-hand side, looking for Harfield. Back towards Stokes, but the pass is too short. Talage has done really well to try and win it, but Pools come away with the ball. Cook twists and turns and finds a pass back to Crawford. Space opening up for Joe Gray. Right-hand side of play, deep cross into the penalty area. Goes all the way out for a goal kick, and Manny Dizarue wanted it near post. Joe Gray went deep, and instead it is a goal kick. Just a little bit of miscommunication there 8 minutes in with the score goalless.
Yeah, Joe, he was in a good position there to cross it, and he just overhit the cross. The technique was slightly wrong. Manning was in front of the defender, so if he could have got the ball in, it would have been a chance. But just going back to Adjiman on that far side, he does get in good positions, cutting in under his right foot, and a lot of the time he doesn't put the ball into the box when you've got a lot of players in the box. So it's something that I'd like to see him do a little bit more, and I know in academies they want to play and overpass at times, but I think at this level, when he's in those positions, it'd be good for him to cross it.
Well, a little mistake from Aldershot at the back, almost opens the door for Dizaroué, but Stokes does well to reatone for his error. Brings in Glover on that right hand side, linking up really well. Talage picks up possession, edge of the area. Pools tried to close him down. 3 blue and white shirts around him. The pass comes all the way through into the area. Joe Gray goes down, but the referee is letting things slide here this afternoon as the yellow shirts of Aldershot have it once more. Harries, deep crossing the penalty area to the back post. There is a free man, and that free man was James Daly, but the ball just escaping his grasp and dropping behind for a goal kick. Still 0-0, but that was a real opportunity.
Yeah, it was a good ball in. I think it probably just got some sort of extra distance because of the wind, but Daly was in a good position there. But Talage looks confident, doesn't he? Every time the ball goes in, he's strong, he holds the ball up, and he looks like a player that scored lots of goals.
Swiss under-19 international, started at the Brighton Academy, did Laurent Talage, was at Salford for a time as well. Only 22 years of age, still plenty to come from him. As Pools tried to come away with it, Callum Cook wanted the advantage, but the referee, Stuart Morland, has all of a sudden gone from letting everything slide to letting absolutely nothing slide.
Yeah, I think Cook wanted to play on there. I think the referee was unfortunate. I think he'd blown up, and then as the ball popped out, Cook came with it. But I've been impressed with Aldershot so far. They're a young team, they're dynamic, and as I say, they want to get forward, they want bodies in the box, and they look like they've come here to win the game. They're not come to settle for a point. They want to go and get 3 points.
Yeah, you can tell the confidence in them, can't you, when they do get hold of the ball, as Pete Jamieson's put that free kick straight out of play into the Cyril Knowles stand over on the far side in what is a windy but sunny afternoon in Hartlepool. A few clouds in the sky above us, but it is predominantly blue skies. Can see right over to the Eston Hills away to our right hand side, and all the way down on the horizon you can see the North Sea with plenty of large shipping containers making their way across the horizon. But on the pitch, it is the blue and white of Hartlepool against the yellow shirts of Aldershot in the National League. It's 0-0 on BBC Radio T Sport, and it is Aldershot in possession. A lofted ball forward that Parks gets underneath. That was unfortunate. It might create something here for Aldershot. A cross come shot by Ollie Scott that went right across the 18-yard line. Adjiman fighting for it, but losing out to Glover, who does really well, floats across into the penalty area. A header there from Daly, but it's plucked out of the air by Pete Jamieson, all in green this afternoon. A comfortable save for him, but once again, just a little reminder from Aldershot that they are dangerous and trying to get down that right-hand side specifically in the last few moments. But chance now for Pools to have their spell of possession with Crawford. Just touches the top of the ball with his studs. Stevenson, the young academy graduate, drifting infield. Got man of the match last time out at home. Spreads the play to Ferguson. Lays it off to Cook. Patient build-up from Pools. Adjiman back to Cook. Now Ferguson once more with a touchline at his feet. Finds Dizaroué. Once again wide on the left-hand side. Dizaroué does really well to keep hold of it. Spins away from Magoma. Tries to bring in Cook, but it's just out of his reach. Adjiman keeps it moving. Cook back to Adjiman. Wide on that left-hand side still. Pools just trying to find some space because Aldershot are keeping their shape really well and biting when they need to. Crawford drifting out wide left-hand side. He's got Ferguson to his left. He takes up that option now. Gray and Dizaroué in the box if Pools can find a way to deliver that ball into them. Crawford tries to go around his man and wins
really good.
A free kick.
Really good spell of possession, wasn't it, for Hartlepool? The patience with the ball, the quality of the passing was good. The looking to probe, we get Manny in down the side. Just an interesting situation at the back for Hartlepool, Rob. Aldershot are leaving 2 up, and Hartlepool have got 3 at the back. Stevenson wants to break forward to get this space down the right hand side, but he doesn't want to leave them 2-on-2 at the back, so it's going to be interesting how he deals with this right hand side of the pitch.
Yeah, Nicky Featherston's just made that point to Terrell Adjamangas to say, get back and you need to do your defensive duties. We'll be over to Ray Simpson for an update from Darlington against Southport very shortly, but first a free kick for Pools. Callum Cook with the signal, wide from the left hand side, floated into the area, bounces down to Desirue, rebounds off his shins. Waterfall gets to the byline, holds it up to the back post, away from Parks, and a chance now for Aldershot to try and clear from the penalty area, and they do, but they go along to James Daly. And now it's 1v2 in Pools' favour. Stevenson slides in and just slows that move up momentarily. Stokes is denied by Parks. The ball out for a throw-in. Let's go over to Ray Simpson watching Darlington against Southport.
15 minutes going. It's a great start for Darlington. It's Darlington 2 and the visitors Southport 0. Quaker scored twice in this space of 3 minutes. On 6 minutes, Scott Barrow crossed from the left into the middle. Cedric Main chased the ball, turned, and then hit a low right foot shot into the bottom left-hand corner of the net. A minute later, he nearly got another cutting from the left, beat a defender, and then struck a right foot shot that was deflected behind for a corner, and it was from that corner the Quakers scored. Matty Cornish curled the ball into the near post. It was up against the wind, and the keeper was caught a little bit off guard, and all he could do was help the ball into the roof of the net. So great start for Quakers. It's Darlington 2, Southport 0.
Thank you for that, Ray Simpson. A good start for the Quakers here in the National League, though. Pools 0, Aldershot 0. Laurent Tallage just with a shot that wriggled through to Pete Jameson. He was able to grab it with his fingertips down on the turf. It wasn't a shot that really had an awful lot of power about it. It was more the direction that almost caught Jameson out. But he grabbed it and he held it, Mickey Barron.
Yeah, again, Tallage just looking to get that little bit of space in and around the penalty area and get a shot away. Fortunately for Hartlepool, it got blocked a little bit there. Jameson could gather it, but he's just always looking to create that little bit of space.
And you can see Pools are aware of the threat and constantly trying to double up on him, as Ferguson does really well to stand his ground and just stem that attack from wide on the right-hand side as Aldershot attack. Out for a throw-in.
Sorry, Rob, just going back, the last Waterfall did really well in the box to turn and cross it, and Glover for Aldershot had a tremendous header at the back post, but then again it's that one ball down and Hartlepool had counter-attacked and Aldershot could have got a chance on goal. Hartlepool need to concentrate when they're attacking, and it's something that has to be done all the time because they get counter-attacked too easy.
Oh, ball all the way through to James Daly. That was too easy for Aldershot. Left-hand side, low shot across the face of goal that is cleared by Parks and helped away by Joe Gray. Now Manny Desirue tries to make it stick, finds Callum Cook, but he can't find the pass. Now he can, and he releases Joe Gray on this right-hand side, running at his man. Gray infield to Cook. He scans the pitch, assesses his options, gets into towards the penalty area and is crowded out. And it's cleared from one end of the pitch to the other for Pools there in the blink of an eye. And this game certainly opening up in the last few moments, Mickey Barron.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a good start of the game. Cook did really well there to try and get on the return pass, if you like, but some good defending from Aldershot. But yeah, two teams that are trying to pass the ball, get through the lines, and it's been a really bright start of the game.
Me and you said before we came on air, when we were, as we always do, sort of musing about what we might see this afternoon and how we think the game might go, and both of us just said we just want an entertaining game, don't we? Just give us an entertaining game, and so far with 16 minutes on the clock, it's 0-0, but it's certainly an open game, as Tommy Widrington down in his technical area waving his side back as Pools attack with Adjamang, left hand side of play in front of the Cyril Knowles stand. Ferguson to Cook, goes back to captain Nicky Featherston. Crawford. Pools moving the ball in little small triangles at present. Aldershot with everybody back behind the ball apart from Tallage. And Nicky Featherston chopped down there, and referee Stuart Morland has pointed for a Pools free kick midway inside the shot's half of play.
Yeah, Callum Cook screaming at Stevenson there because he wants him to get wide on this right hand side, but Stevenson, and correctly so, is turning around going, look, he's not coming with me, and so it's that cat and mouse. Manny's got the ball now in the box, quick free kick.
And he lays it off for Nicky Featherstone inside the box. His shot is crowded out. Desirue goes down, and the referee, with the whistle to his lips, points to the penalty spot. Manny Desirue did not give up the fight. He wins another spot kick. He has the ball under his arm, and Hartlepool United's top goal scorer has an opportunity to put them into the lead.
Yeah, it was hard to see from here if there was any contact, Rob, but the defender doesn't need to tackle him there. If he has contacted him, he just needs to stand up and defend the area. But the referee took his time to think about it and give a penalty, and hopefully Manny can put it exactly where he did last time, which was right in the top corner.
Well, Manny Desirue, Pool's top goal scorer, 22 for the campaign, up against Jordi van Steppershoff at 6'6". Desirue, right-footed into the top corner.
Penalty.
Emphatic from Hartlepool United's talisman. He does not miss from the spot. Manny Desirue with the breakthrough. And how many times have we said that this season? His 23rd of the campaign. He celebrates with the town end. 18 minutes on the clock. It's Hartlepool United 1, it's Aldershot 0.
Yeah, another fantastic penalty, wasn't it? Right in the top corner again. I think if I was a goalkeeper coming up against a penalty against Manny, I would stand in that post and just try and catch it in the top corner. The goalkeeper's 6'6", and Manny just stepped up with so much confidence and put it right in the top corner. Fantastic penalty again, and I think that'll make an even better game now, Rob. I think Aldershot will even sort of be more productive and want to go forward even more now, and Hartlepool are in the game, and it has been a really good start.
And as you can hear on the effects mic here at the back of the Neil Cooper stand, it just lifts the atmosphere, but it means that Aldershot really have to come out now, and that is what they're trying to do with the ball deep towards the byline. The cross that comes in is blocked, but Ollie Scott doing well to make something of that, and it's a corner, the first corner of the game, and it goes the way of Aldershot.
Yeah, Aldershot are getting quite a lot of joy down this left-hand side. Ollie Scott getting forward to join in the attacks, and Stevenson's got a tough decision to make whether he has to go out there early.
Oh, low ball in the penalty area. Pools are switched off from the corner here, but cleared by Crawford. And the wind keeps it in play. I thought that was going out into touch, but it wasn't to be. Harfield, good ball into the area. Talage is there, trying to make a nuisance of himself, but Pools are able to clear. They might have the break on here if Adjaman can pick out the pass. Instead, he goes sideways to Louis Stevenson, who looks to bring the ball up to the halfway line. He stretches out his palms as if to say, where are the options? Instead, he gives possession away to Willard in the Aldershot midfield. Well, this really makes a game of it now. Aldershot in 7th coming into this afternoon's game, fighting for a playoff place. What a ball that was from Widrington. Talage just didn't reach him. Pools defended well and were able to intercept, but the runners from deep are certainly offering Pools problem at the back. Pools on the attack though with Ferguson, finds Cook, just switches direction very swiftly does Cook. Inside the centre circle now with Luke Waterfall. Featherstone gets a little shove in the back and heavy pass that opens up Daly for Aldershot. Runners inside the area and Stevenson does well to block that cross. Another corner for Aldershot, their second of the game and their second in quick succession.
Yeah, it was sloppy, wasn't it, Rob? I think the pass into Featherstone was too hard for him to play first time. He could have done with having a touch, but just give the ball away cheaply, and this leads to another corner.
It's going to be an in-swinger. There is a short option there of Ryan Glover if they want it. Instead it goes right into the 6-yard box. A little flick behind the standing leg from Daly that would have been superb if it did come off, but Pools were able to block it. They tried to attack quickly. Adjaman tumbles into Magoma, and Pools have a throw-in deep inside their own half. So 22 minutes on the clock. Hartlepool United 1, Aldershot 0 if you're just joining us on BBC Radio T Sport this afternoon. We're on DAB Digital Radio. We're on online via BBC Sounds and the BBC Football website. Whichever way you're listening to us, as always, thank you for being with us. We hope that we make you feel as if you're in the ground this afternoon. Myself, Rob Law, and Mickey Barron painting the pictures for you this afternoon. Manny Dizaruwe from the spot. That is the difference so far. Aldershot enjoying a spell of possession. Out it goes to the right hand side, now infield for Talaj, who's dropped deep to get a hold of it, and he turns and accelerates, brings in Glover on the right hand side, a cut back inside the area. Featherstone does well to clear the danger, and again Pools tried to counter and counter quickly. Adjumang bringing it up towards the halfway line. Cook receives it inside the centre circle and then peels the ball off to Stevenson. Again, his pass is just too short and to a yellow shirt.
Yeah, Stevenson he's getting himself more and more frustrated because he's given the ball away a couple of times. Just needs to relax a little bit, calm down, and get a couple of passes in that he knows are going to sort of get to where they need to get to. But I've been impressed with Aldershot, even though they've gone 1-0 down, that they're willing to commit bodies forward to attack.
And that's exactly what they're doing now with Ollie Scott. Left hand side, driving to the byline, good cross to the back post, and Daly was there, but he just couldn't make the connection. It was whipped in with real pace, flashed across the face of goal to the back post, and Daly was throwing himself towards that back stick. Couldn't make the connection. Pools have a goal kick.
Yeah, it's definitely the area where Aldershot are getting a lot of success down this left-hand side. I think Stevenson needs some help. He probably needs Joe Gray to drop back a little bit because he's narrow in the back four, and Ollie Scott's playing as a wing-back for Aldershot. So he gets a lot of space, a lot of time to run at him with the ball as well, which is making it difficult for Stevenson.
And now Pools have just put it straight out for an Aldershot throw-in, as the frustrations from those around us in the press box start to stretch out onto the airwaves. Right hand side as Stokes dispossessed, but then wins it back from Ferguson, lifts it high into the area. It's right on top of Jameson's goal, and the wind looked to get a hold of that and change the trajectory of the ball, but Jameson able to collect it from underneath his own crossbar in the end. Yeah, it's making the flight of the ball really difficult to read for the players, isn't it?
It is, and Jameson did really well there because it's difficult as a keeper, but even for outfield players, it's difficult to read where the ball's going to go to. But one thing Aldershot are doing, they're putting crosses in whenever they can, and whether it's right side or left side, they're looking to put balls into the Hartlepool box.
In the Premier League, the early kick-off saw Crystal Palace 2, Manchester City 4. It's goalless in all the other 3 o'clock kick-offs so far in the Premier League this afternoon, with Brighton against Arsenal at 5:30, highlights of which you'll be able to find on Match of the Day tonight on BBC One, as Cook wins the header for Hartlepool United, who are leading by 1-0. Manny Dizaruwe back to Cook. Cook tries to drop the shoulder and drift past his man. He does really well. He's gone down, but he's found Dizaruwe. Back to Cook, edge of the area, lays it off to Crawford on that right foot of his, and the shot goes through a crowd of bodies, and it's easily saved in the end by Van Stappershoff. But good build up there from Pools, and again that desire and drive from Cook is all too apparent this afternoon.
Yeah, he's been in more dangerous areas this afternoon, Rob, than he has in a couple of games, and he's on the edge of that box receiving the ball. I thought he was going to have a touch and shoot himself, but I think it was the right decision to give it to Crawford. But Crawford's shot was just a little bit weak. But again, some good play from Hartlepool. Cook's getting into some good positions this afternoon.
Yeah, that's been the frustration, I suppose, with Cook, isn't it, from the fans' point of view this season, is that the display we're seeing this afternoon, haven't seen it enough this season from Callum Cook, and that's from a player who himself has very high standards and wants to play at the highest level possible.
Yeah, and I think there's times when he's given the ball away quite cheaply in games, and it's happened quite a lot.
Ollie Scott, left hand side, gets around Stevenson once more, cuts it back into the area, but Featherstone again is there to sweep up the danger, and Crawford clears it. Manny Dizaruwe is judged to have fouled his man on the halfway line. Dizaruwe pleads his innocence, but it is a free kick to Tommy Witherington's side.
It looked a little bit softer than that, didn't it? I think he just sort of out-muscled this centre half there. One thing with Aldershot, I saw Theo Widrington there, the one to get on with the game. He was screaming to get the ball because he wants to play and do it really quickly.
Ollie Scott finds Harfield down the left-hand side. Ball out for a throw in just short of the Pools corner flag, which is stretched and bent right over to one side, just to give you an idea of the wind this afternoon. Harfield again tries to get his cross away, but it is blocked, and the ball is judged to have gone out for a Pools throw this time. Those flagpoles where the throwing is being taken from now, I mean, they look a bit unsteady, don't they? They're absolutely shaking in the wind.
Yeah, they look like the fence posts I've put in the car.
Yes.
I'm sure they've been there a few years, Rob. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Willard into midfield. Widrington helps it on its way and then helps it out of play for a Pools throw. Just a little bit of miscommunication from the Aldershot midfield there. So as we approach the half-hour mark, 29 minutes on the clock, Hartlepool United 1, Aldershot 0 on BBC Radio T Sport this afternoon. Pools taking the lead after Manny Desirue was brought down inside the area. We had an awkward view of it. I mean, it looked like just a poor challenge, and you said it at the time, Mickey, a challenge that just didn't need to be made in that area of the pitch. Manny Desirue was going away from goal, he was towards the byline, he almost had his back to goal in a way. It was a needless challenge. It was a sloppy challenge.
Yeah, you see it quite a lot at the moment, Rob, where people are going to, looks like they're going to clear the ball and then someone steps across them, and look a little bit like that from where we were. But I'd like to see it again because the referee took his time to make that decision.
Well, Nicky Featherstone is judged to have fouled Haji Magoma. And Aldershot wanting to take that free kick quickly. Theo Widrington once again trying to make that run off the ball, but Aldershot still with a player down who might need some treatment. Magoma being that player, pulls himself to his feet. Gone for the turquoise boots on his feet this afternoon. You ever wear turquoise boots?
I think you know the answer to that, Rob. I think I was always more like a referee than anything else with the boots of my choice.
Now, Laurent Talage is in conversation with Theo Widrington here.
I don't know what Theo could.
Oh, a little back heel from Widrington. Talage with a shot like an arrow and palmed behind by Jameson. A training ground move that almost caught Pools on their heels, but Jameson did really well to get a good sight of that and palm it behind because it arrived with real pace. It remains Pools 1, Aldershot 0, and Aldershot now having a break in play because Haji Magoma is sat down and needs some treatment, but a really good strike there from Talage.
Yeah, I was wondering what Theo Widrington could possibly say to him because he was always going to hit it, but then obviously did a clever little back heel just to move that ball a little bit. It was a terrific strike. Jameson did well just to keep an eye on it and turn it over, but they've definitely got a goal threat about them, Aldershot. Like I said before, they want to get the ball down and play quickly. They're bright on the ball and flood Hartlepool's box with players to try and create those chances.
Well, Haji Magoma is still getting some treatment. Looks to be his right knee.
Yeah, I think he was the one that maybe got fouled before,
yeah,
Rob. Sort of. I'm just watching Tommy Widrington in the stand. He's obviously not allowed on the dugout today because I think he's got a ban. So every time something happens, his hands are in his head, and so I'm sure he'd rather be on the touchline. And it's difficult when you sort of at the back of the stand, and it's how you communicate with your bench and obviously for substitutions and things like that. So it looks like he's on the phone now trying to get some information down.
Your eyesight's incredible.
It's only because I've spoken to him before the game and I can actually see the shirt and tie he's got on. Can you see him pointing?
Yes, I can see. Yeah.
So I know exactly where he's sat, you see, because I've watched him out the tunnel and up into the stands. So.
Yeah, I can see where he is now. Has he got like a gold tie on?
No, a red tie.
Oh, okay.
He's just got I said to him before the game, do you not ever wear just like a Pep sweatshirt? He's like, no.
You ever go for a turtleneck, Tommy?
He's definitely not.
He's not the turtleneck type.
No.
A substitution here for Aldershot then that sees Haji Magoma go off. He looks to be struggling with an issue to his knee. Meanwhile, it is going to be a corner. We'll give you the confirmation of that change shortly. The corner taken short. Out it comes to Harfield, left-footed, laid off now for Ollie Scott. Shapes to shoot, takes a deflection off Ajamang, hangs up in the air. Park's able to head it away and tries to keep it or get it further away from goal. It's out for a throw-in.
I think Aldershot do have that wind behind them, so anytime they're sort of in that area where Ollie Scott was there, they're going to try and get a shot away and test the goalkeeper, because they have got that sort of breeze or wind behind them.
Well, just confirmation of that change. So Haji Magoma going off, Dylan Cadney coming on to replace him. Laurent Talage picking up the ball 20 yards out. Joe Gray intercepts the pass out towards Scott, and Gray clears. Crawford does well just to get a little bit of extra distance on that ball that doesn't drop out of play as much as Harfield was begging that it would. Harries looks to hit a diagonal ball up towards the edge of the area. Ferguson just backs himself into James Daly and brushes him off the ball. And Ferguson lets that one cross the line for a goal kick. 34 minutes on the clock. Hartlepool United 1, Aldershot 0. Just a reminder, Aldershot fighting for the playoff spots. They were coming into this game 7th, which is the final playoff position, on a run of 4 games without a win after an incredible season, really. And when you think they finished 18th last season, Aldershot, 5 points clear of relegation, one of the worst defences in the National League. So the job that Tommy Widrington has done to turn things around is should not be understated by any stretch.
Yeah, definitely. I think, speaking to Tommy before the game, he said what a good job his staff have done as well, Rob. You know, he's got a good set of staff around him that he trusts and work really hard.
As Watford have taken the lead against West Ham, the only other goal in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Wolves leading West Ham. What did I say?
Watford.
Oh, sorry. Wolves leading West Ham by a goal to 0. Yeah, well, Watford, of course, not playing West Ham this afternoon.
I was thinking there's a cup game.
Certainly not in the Premier League either. In the Championship, our featured commentary still Middlesbrough 0, Swansea 0. Commentary of that one over on 95 FM and Freeview 722 with Mark Drury and Neil Maddison. I'll take you around some of the other scores in the National League shortly once this ball goes out of play. But Aldershot on the attack, crossing the halfway line now with Willard. Out to Glover with the chalk on his boots out on the right hand side. The ball trickles all the way through to Daly, back to Talage. Does really well to find the angle and then brushes the ball past the far post of Pete Jameson. Talage showing his football IQ there, just to sit the Pools defender down, work the angle for himself on the 18-yard line, and he zipped his shot right across the face of goal. The only thing that was lacking was the ball hitting the back of the net. He did everything else right, but it remains Pools 1, Aldershot 0.
Yeah, I think Daly did really well. He was on the front foot to get the ball into Talage, and then fantastic bit of skill to move the ball on the other foot and take an early shot, and he was so unlucky not to score there. But he's been a really bright spark, Rob, hasn't he, in the first half, Aldershot. He looks so confident. He looks like he's going to create something or have a shot every time he gets that ball.
He looks hungry. He looks dangerous. And you can see why he has the goals that he does this season. Manny Dizarouwe, speaking of goals, in possession for Pools, brings in Crawford. Ajamang calling for it, left hand side. Cook, Ferguson joins the fight. A through ball from Cook towards Ajamang that is just over hit. Ajamang chasing for it and wins a throw in as well. Pools a lot better at that this afternoon, Mickey. I don't know your thoughts on this, just not giving up the fight.
Yeah,
there seems a lot more desire this afternoon.
Yeah, it's just commitment, Rob, isn't it?
Yes.
Commitment to go and close down and not give away sort of an easy clearance there. Magiman just didn't want to let him get out of that position.
Cook with an inviting ball into the penalty area that was saved quite comfortably in the end by Van Stappershoff. A really fascinating game this is turning out to be. Both teams asking questions of the other's defence as Crawford in possession looks to hit a diagonal over the top towards Adjumang, or was it towards Dizaruwe? Either way, it's cleared into the 0-0 stand for a Pools throw.
Yeah, it's interesting, Rob. It's that when you have the wind, is it easier or is it sometimes harder to pass that ball into where you want it to? And a lot of people think having the wind's an advantage, which it can be, but at times it can work against you as well, you know, when you're trying to play those clever balls, and maybe that was a time there where Crawford just couldn't get into the position he wanted to.
Mani Dizaruwe fighting with 2 yellow shirts and then was judged to have fouled one of them for a free kick to Aldershot deep inside their own half. Taken quickly and short as Boreham Wood have taken the lead against Wealdstone. So Boreham Wood 1, Wealdstone 0. Ebbsfleet leading Fylde by a goal to 0. Maidenhead, who Hartlepool United go to on Tuesday night, leading Barnet 1-0. And it's Woking 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 1. While York are drawing 0-0 against Eastleigh, and Kidderminster against Halifax kicks off at 5:30. The early kick-off in the National League for the Aldershot fans listening. Oldham 1, Rochdale 1. And here this afternoon, Pools leading by a goal to 0 against Aldershot, who have given it away. Crawford finds Joe Gray, right-hand side of play. He's got 2 yellow shirts in front of him, needs a bit of help. Goes back to Crawford, stands his studs on top of the ball, does a full 180, and again gives Willard some twisted blood there. Crawford finds Louis Stevenson, and back it goes. Pools did really well because they had to fight the press that Aldershot do so well, but Pools able to maintain possession under pressure. Crawford with it inside his own half of play, just dropping deep to get a hold of the ball. Back it goes to Waterfall. Oh, and he read the pass there. Talage thought that Waterfall was going back to Jameson, so Waterfall just picked a different option.
Yeah, he did well there, because I think the easy option was to go back to goalkeeper, but
and Talage had read it, hadn't he?
Yeah, so he used his experience there, and that's good for Hartlepool to keep the ball and move it across the other side. You're going to have to get the ball at times in tight areas, and I think that's something that other teams have done better than Hartlepool this season, but Hartlepool today are doing that better than I've seen them.
As Josh Stokes goes down, the referee actually gives a throw in the way of Pools right in front of their own dugout, with Kevin Phillips watching on, his hands thrust inside his pockets. Tony Sweeney watching on, perched with his arm on top of the dugout.
But Alan Partridge
it
style,
it is very.
I'll have to mention that though.
It is very
casual.
Yeah, cashback. It is one of those, isn't it? Do look like a good Partridge. The throw into Aldershot over on the far side. It's one of my favourite social media accounts, that is Accidental Partridge.
Fantastic.
Very good. Aldershot in possession inside the centre circle. Now Ollie Scott does really well to just drift past the advancing blue and white shirts infield. Oh, an overrun almost by Aldershot. They do well to keep hold of it. Widrington out to the right-hand side for Glover. A heavy touch which allows Adjumang to come in and win possession. The ball out for an Aldershot throw. So 5 minutes left to play at the end of this first half. Pools leading by a goal to 0. The goal coming on 17 minutes when Mani Dizaruwe was brought down inside the area. He went on to convert from the spot. It was right into the top corner again. I said it with the goal, but I mean that was as emphatic a penalty as you're likely to see, and credit to Jordi van Steppershoff, because he went the right way. It was just pinpoint from Dizaruwe. There was nothing he could have done to deny him that, but a really good penalty.
Yeah, he's obviously, he'll have watched last time Manny took a penalty and knows where he's put that one, so he's gambled the right way. But like you said, Rob, there's 6'6", 7'6", I don't think you would have been able to stop that.
Again, Pools from the goal kick. Pete Jameson just seeing it drop out for a throw-in. I do think that wind is playing a part, though. Again, just looking at the flags away to our left-hand side, they are just in all different directions constantly.
Yeah, even before the ball from Widrington out to Daly, he's had his touch has popped up, but then the wind's like pushed it even further and made it really difficult for him.
In possession is Cadney, the first half substitute after Haji Magoma went off injured with what looked like a knock to his knee. Harfield out to this near side for Ollie Scott, accelerating over the halfway line now, but not an awful lot of options for him, so he's forced backwards to Harfield. Now Scott with more willing runners in front of him, does well to open the space up to Lage, edge of the area, really nice quick footwork from him. Scott once more, driving towards the byline, cuts it back. Waterfall is there and risks taking the feet from underneath Ollie Scott inside the area, but pulled out at the vital moment, and Scott runs it out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, he's been really bright down his left hand side, Ollie Scott. A lad I know well, I had him when I was at Blythe, and
really?
Yeah, he's good technique. He's got a really good left foot. He's really fit, enthusiastic, and it's nice to see him actually playing at this level, you know, because he works ever so hard to try to get a team, and he's really bright. And you've seen today he gets forward well and uses that left foot to try and to create chances.
As Middlesbrough have taken the lead against Swansea, Emmanuel Latte-Lat with the goal there, continuing his fine run of goal scoring form. Commentary of that one over on 95 FM and Freeview 722. Here on DAB Digital Radio and online via BBC Sounds and the BBC Football website. It's all about the National League, with Hartlepool United leading Aldershot by a goal to nil. But Aldershot growing in confidence. I would say growing in confidence. They've had confidence from minute one, haven't they? They find themselves behind, and Hartlepool United now with every blue and white shirt behind the ball, and then Aldershot with every yellow shirt inside the Pool's half of play. Daly looks to turn his man, but Gray backtracking and covering for his defence, wins the goal kick as well. Good work from Gray there. It remains Pools 1, Aldershot 0 with 30 seconds of the 45 left to play.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Aldershot, Rob, with the movement, with the sort of way they try to play those balls into the striker's feet, the movement that they get off that. And they've just been a little bit unfortunate, haven't they? They've conceded that penalty. Hartlepool haven't created a lot, and Aldershot have definitely been the team on the front foot, I would say, but they just haven't really had that sort of really clear-cut chance yet at Hartlepool's goal.
Right, let's see this from Pete Jameson. It's a goal kick. The last three have all gone out into the Cyril Knowles stand, some into the car park. That one stays in, but it goes to a yellow shirt. 3 minutes of stoppage time, which we're into now. Pools leading by a goal to nil at the end of this first half. Pools have been good in the first 45 minutes of games under Kevin Phillips. It's been the second half of matches where things have unfolded and unravelled quite rapidly. As Aldershot win a throw-in, much to the frustration of Crawford. Stokes, ball over the top looking for Talage, but Parks heads it away. It drops to Daly inside the D, back to Widrington. Out to the right hand side for Glover now. Twists and turns, trying to find an angle to get past Adjumang. The step overs, little drop of the shoulder, but Adjumang stays with him. Pools doubling up on Glover and managed to win possession. Ferguson able to clear up towards the halfway line. Manny Dizaroué almost forces a mistake and a moment of panic from Cadney at the back, but Aldershot with possession inside their own half. Out to Ollie Scott on this near side, closed down by Gray. Back to Harfield, and now in the centre of the pitch, Cian Harries. Ball over the top from Widrington. Glover will chase, and he'll keep it in as well. Will he? No, he won't. He punches the turf in frustration, Glover. Because he got there in time, it just wriggled out of his grasp.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Glover down that right-hand side. He gets forward well. He's confident when he gets the ball. He was unlucky there, the ball just ran under his foot, but he does look to get forward down that right-hand side, links up well with Widrington. I have to say, the the substitution, I think, hasn't helped Aldershot. I think Cadney coming on, he's given the ball away. He looks a little bit nervous at times in possession of the ball as well. And I'm sure Sweens and Phillips will be looking at that at half time and saying, look, if anyone, let him have the ball on that side and leave him on the ball to see what he can do when he gets possession.
So 2 minutes into the 3 minutes of stoppage time to play. Matty Nixon will bring you through a full rundown of all the half-time scores at the break from around the grounds, the Premier League, the Championship, the National League. All of that to come at the break. Crucially, Hartlepool United leading by a goal to nil, and on the attack, Adjumang to Cook. Now Ferguson hugging the touchline as he so often does. Space opens up for him, a heavy touch which sees Cadney clear for a throw-in. It actually took a deflection off Ferguson, so good work from Cadney there to win the throw-in for his side. Down the line it goes, Talaj. Now Ferguson able to get his foot underneath that to win possession. Manny Desirue trying to keep hold of it, but it's cleared and blocked by Parks. Another one goes over the Cyril Knowles stand. Now if there's somebody on Clarence Road this afternoon, they will earn a pretty penny, because there's about 4 or 5 balls that have gone over that far stand and onto the main road behind. The referee blows his whistle at the break. Hartlepool United lead by a goal to nil, and it's that man again, Manny Desirue. It was a goal that was all his own doing, inside the area, making a nuisance of himself, and Aldershot making a challenge inside the area when really didn't need to. Really sloppy and a lack of concentration perhaps. It saw the referee point to the spot. Manny Desirue stood up confidently and dispatched it emphatically into the top corner to give Pools the lead. But since then, Aldershot have had their opportunities as well. It's come from their star striker, Laurent Talaj. 2 chances, 2 sights of goal. The first from a nice worked free kick straight from the training ground, which whizzed past all the crowd of bodies inside the area and arrived very rapidly right at the face of Pools goalkeeper Pete Jameson. He absolutely got both hands behind it to spoon it up into the afternoon sky and behind for a corner. It was a venomous strike, but Laurent Talaj has been the constant thorn in the side of Hartlepool United. Another effort on 35 minutes, good link-up play with James Daly on the edge of the area. His shot just wide of the mark, but again, he is the constant threat. Aldershot fighting for the playoffs and by no means out of this yet. Hartlepool United in recent weeks, it's been the second half where they haven't been able to quite match their first 45 minutes in terms of performance. So only halfway done, Hartlepool United lead by a goal to nil after the first 45.
Yeah, it's been a really good game, Rob, hasn't it? It's been end-to-end. Both teams have sort of attacked when they can and had some good possession of the ball as well. I think Aldershot looked more of a threat than Hartlepool in that final third, but that's how football happens. Hartlepool go in 1-0. I'm sure Kevin will be really happy with them and how they defended, and now they've got a different challenge having that wind at the back. I'm pretty sure Aldershot will come out and try and turn Hartlepool, get balls in behind for runners and use that wind that they're playing into now in their favour and try and get Hartlepool turned a little bit more. Like you said, Talaj has been a really bright spot and he looks at danger, and they've got some really clever players in that final third, so it's going to be hard for Hartlepool second half, but do they deserve it? I don't really know, probably not, but they go in 1-0 and they've got something to build on.
So at the break, Matty, Hartlepool United take the lead, and all to do in the second half still, because it is a game where you look to the strikers. Laurent Talaj against Manny Desirue. You'd say Laurent Talaj has had more to do, but it is Desirue who has the goal to his name at the break. Pools lead 1-0.
Back to Hartlepool for second half commentary. It's Pools against Aldershot in the National League, Rob.
Yes, thank you, Matty. Very true. Savannah never change. Looking forward to that. Savannah Marshall make her first MMA debut on June the 8th in the Newcastle Arena, fighting in the Premier Fighters League. Here on BBC Radio T Sport this afternoon, Hartlepool United leading Aldershot by a goal to nil. No changes at the break, so Pools as they were, which is Pete Jameson in goal A back four of Louis Stevenson, Luke Waterfall and Tom Parks, as well as David Ferguson. The two defensive midfielders of Crawford and captain Nicky Featherston, Joe Gray, Callum Cook and Terrell Adjumang, with the job of supplying Manny Desirue up front. As for Aldershot, who were in possession with the centre-backs, Jordi van Stappershoff in goal. A back three of Ollie Harfield, Cian Harries and the first half substitute Dylan Cadney, who replaced Haji Magoma due to a knee injury. Wing-backs of Ryan Glover and Ollie Scott, with Theo Widrington and Tommy Willard, Josh Stokes all supporting Laurent Talage and James Daly, the two centre forwards. Mickey Barron, our expert pool summariser. Going to be an interesting half this, Mickey, because as we said in the first half, Hartlepool United under Kevin Phillips so far this season have struggled to maintain their first half performance. Long ball over the top, Daly is in! Oh, and it's a save by Pete Jameson, and in fact it was Josh Stokes, one ball over the top, Stokes was in, settled his feet, tried to feed it through the legs of Jameson, who was able to block the shot at close range. A minute and 30 seconds into this second half, and already Aldershot with a chance.
Yeah, and that's what we spoke about, the wind, Rob. Second half they're playing against the wind now. He played a ball over the top. I think Jameson first thought it was going to come through, then decided not to come. And to be honest, he's used the wrong technique there, Stokes. He should have just put his foot through it and hit it as hard as he can. He's trying to side-foot it.
Glover, deep cross into the penalty area, goes all the way through to the far side, looking for Ollie Scott, or Ollie as it says on the back of his shirt, which has infuriated Paul Fraser, one of the members of the North East press pack. He said, why has he got Ollie on the back of his shirt?
I don't think I've ever seen Paul that angry about anything.
I know, I mean it really did, didn't it? It stuck in his fall. Did that. I mean, when your dad is Martin Scott as well, it's, you know. Crossing the penalty area, deep, but all the way through and out for a goal kick.
There wasn't a bad ball in there, but for once Aldershot only had one player in the box. I think they were wanting to build the play up a little bit more, but Cadney just put the ball in early, but there just wasn't anyone in there to receive the ball. I think it's going to be predominantly Aldershot with the ball, Aldershot with sort of possession of the ball, attacking Hartlepool. Hartlepool need to be clever with the way they counter-attack Aldershot, and when they get the ball, try and keep the ball as much as they can.
Well, we almost give Hartlepool United the kiss of death there early on, talking about their second half performances over recent weeks. But that has been the truth of it, as Parks does really well to pick out Cook, and Parks just felt a little something there after that move as he trots back into position. Joe Gray does really well, holding off 3 yellow shirts at one time. Waterfall is just overran, and now Aldershot looking to get back at Pools, but Waterfall stood his ground, and as Mickey Barron described, stood his ground really well. Still Aldershot come forward, ball out to the left hand side. Crawford tries to block the cross and doesn't, comes into the area, bounces down, and Jameson fumbles it behind for a corner.
Yeah, too easy there for Aldershot to first of all cross the ball. I think Crawford's got to try and do more to stop the cross, and no one's really attacked the ball from Hartlepool's point of view. Seem to be waiting for each other to go and get the ball, and again the strike, I think it was Talage, who just got a good connection. And
a quick corner into Theo Widrington, comes all the way through, Talage misses it, and now Cadney peeling away on this near side, gives it back to Harries, infield now, back to Harries it comes. There's an air of inevitability about this here. Widrington with the header, doesn't quite reach Stokes. Waterfall tries to clear, back into Stokes, sorts his feet out, and then a save by Jameson at his near post. Hands up high above his head to block that shot. 50 minutes on the clock, 5 minutes into this second half, and the shots are raining down on Jameson's goal.
Yeah, Hartlepool haven't started. Aldershot, I reckon they've probably had a talk or two of the manager, and they've gone out there to prove something. But Hartlepool just haven't started. They're not defending properly, they're not stopping crosses, and they just look second best at every ball at the moment.
Willard into the 6-yard area, and that one is smothered down low by Jameson. It is relentless stuff from Tommy Witherington's side, Mickey.
Yeah, it's the movement. The movement's really good in the final third, and they're clever with the passes and how they create space for each other as well, and it's causing Hartlepool real issues. This is a time when the leaders in the team, Hartlepool, the two centre-halves, Featherstone and Cook, they've got to get the team together and make sure they sort of just be solid for the next 5 or 10 minutes.
How much, Mickey, and you know, you've played the game, you are one of the all-time appearance holders for Pools, you've captained the side, you've been in the dugout as well. How much will it play on Pools' mind, the fact that in recent weeks the second half has been where they've been pegged back and they haven't been able to hold on to that lead?
Yeah, I think it will be, especially sort of in the defenders, you know, they'll be thinking about those games where they've conceded those either late goals or goals in the second half. But it's a team thing. They've got to do it together as a team. They've got to sort of attack and try and score that goal. But it's not just down to defenders to be switched on at times or defend the box when balls come in.
Free kick for Pools. Oh, it rebounds wildly inside the area, but nobody in a blue and white shirt able to capitalise. Headed away. Featherstone fights for it and wins it on the halfway line. Did really well there to deny Josh Stokes, who started this second half as if he has a point to prove. I suspect he may have been on the receiving end perhaps of a Tommy Witherington rocket.
Yeah, I think it's probably sort of right. You've got 10 minutes to go and show me you want to win the game. It's a big game for Aldershot. They do need to get something from the game, and they've started the second half sort of with a lot of purpose in the play and their attacks.
Aldershot in possession. James Daly back to half-field and now infield once more to Stokes, who tries to release the pass, but Pools have won it. Joe Gray does really well to go the long way around his marker. Harfield, still Gray inside the area now, onto that left foot of his, trying to find the angle, and it was just closed. He just couldn't get that shot away. It would have been an incredible goal if he had got that shot away, if he could have beaten Jody Van Stappershoff, but Gray denied on the 18-yard line.
Yeah, just probably on his weaker left foot coming in, he's not as confident. I think if it's on the other side, he probably hits that a little bit earlier and has a chance to test the goalkeeper, but on his weaker side, he probably didn't want to hit it from that far out.
Manny Dizarue tries to win it in midfield, or rebound, finds Glover, right hand side of the penalty area, at the angle, Ferguson with him, low into the area, comes all the way through to the far side and blocked by Louis Stevenson. It goes out for a throw-in.
Yeah, really good play from Glover down his side. I said he was bright in the first half. He's cut the ball back there. It's gone through Ollie Scott on the far side, who's used his right foot, which is weaker foot, and he's kept it low and it's defended really well. But I think Hartlepool need to get the two wider players just tucked in a little bit more and give the full-back some protection.
Aldershot are getting all the joy in the wide areas, especially on this near side, and just the importance of this game. There's a through ball into the penalty area. Parks, just no nonsense, get it out, and he does just that. Well, at present, Aldershot, if it stays like this, will remain in 7th place on 65 points, but Halifax behind them by 2 points, but crucially will have 2 games in hand on Aldershot. So it just goes to put this game into perspective for the Shots, that they could really do with the 3 points. Hartlepool United, meanwhile, being tasked and challenged by manager Kevin Phillips to get 8 points from the remaining games, take them up to 60 points for the campaign. A win here this afternoon would certainly set them on their way as Adjumang and Ferguson link up on this near side, and Pools win a corner.
Yeah, I think Hartlepool are going to have to do that winning in those situations, run with the ball, get the team higher up the pitch, and Adjumang did really well to win a corner, and I think there's areas where Hartlepool can try and get an attempt on goal.
I make this Hartlepool United's first corner of the game. Callum Cook,
good ball,
right on top of the goalkeeper through the 6-yard box. It was an inviting ball. Gray down inside the 6-yard box. He's making an appeal to the referee that is falling on deaf ears. But that was as good a ball as you are likely to see from a corner.
Yeah, and I think Cook's got every right there to throw his hands up in the air and say, why hasn't someone scored? It's a fantastic ball right across the box. I think Gray's getting pinned from defender, but that's when you've got to be clever and get away from your defender and take that chance to score. Because you're not, as you said, Rob, you're not going to get a better ball into the box than that. 10
minutes of the second half gone as Louis Stevenson jumps in, doesn't quite make the connection, but again Nicky Featherstone there to intercept the attack from Aldershot and then just lays it off to Pete Jameson, who completes the clearance up towards the halfway line. Manny Dizarouwe is the only outlet, makes something of it as well. What a beautiful touch from Dizarouwe. Cook infield, Crawford to Cook, edge of the area. Cook tries to go the long way around his marker and just can't get a foot on it. But what a passage of play from Dizarouwe there to make something of that. It was Crawford with the pass. Cook it wouldn't settle down for him inside the area as he was fighting with the Aldershot defender. The yellow shirts have it, attacking the Pool's town end. Widrington scans the pitch, goes to his right for Cadney, back to Widrington. A beautiful ball over the top, and
clever.
Stokes couldn't connect. Parks put himself between man and ball, and Jameson was able to collect.
Yeah, it's really clever from Widrington. Those balls, he's just waiting for that slight run off.
Well, he almost sold a dummy, didn't he? He scanned the pitch as if he was going to play it out wide, and then just chipped it over the top, just a little dink.
And it's when those defenders are looking at the player thinking, what's he going to do? And all of a sudden that runner's gone in behind, and they're so close there. It's a second or third time they've tried that pass already in the second half.
BBC Radio Tees Sport, 57 minutes on the clock. Pools leading by a goal to nil. Manny Dizarouwe from the spot on 18 minutes. Aldershot, always dangerous, always probing, always asking questions of the Pools defence. That has been the way of the second half. But Pools trying to shift up the pitch as Aldershot go back to their goalkeeper. Long ball forward from Harries, out to the left hand side for Daly, who can't keep it in, and Pools have a throw in just beyond their own penalty area in front of the Cyril Knowles stand, which is bathed in spring sunshine.
I think it's hard for Hartlepool to get out at the moment, Rob, because they can't get any good ball into Manny and build from him. But it's going to be a long half if we're this deep for a long periods of the second half.
Absolutely. Widrington in possession, midway inside the Pools half. There's it off to Cadney, the white and orange boots on his feet. Talage tries to sort his feet out. Sliding challenge from Adjumang, wins it. Now what can Pools do from here? There wasn't many willing runners forward. Ferguson tries to find Dizarouwe, who clatters with Kean Harries, who stayed down. It was an innocuous coming together, really. Just two players trying to go for the ball, but Harries is clutching at his left knee and is writhing around on the pitch. I mean, he looks in some real discomfort there.
Yeah, he's just stepped across Manny to stop Manny getting the ball. It looks like he's banged knees or shins.
And anyone who's played will tell you that absolutely knacks.
It does. But there's nothing in it. He's defended really well, but it looks like he's just being clattered on his knee. And as you said, Rob, it definitely knacks.
There's a little northeast for you. Spennymoor, meanwhile, as we have this break in play, have equalised against Scarborough in the National League North. So Spennymoor 1, Scarborough 1, as the Moors look to try and navigate their way into a playoff place at the top end of the National League North table.
Just looking at the game, Rob, I think somebody, either Cook or Crawford, has got to try and get closer to Widrington, because he's just dictating the play. He's got so much time, no one's going to press him, and he's clever with his passes. He's going to eventually hurt Hartlepool with a pass, so someone's got to try and get a little bit closer and put him under some real pressure when he has that ball.
And Kean Harries is up on his feet. Physio asking him how he feels. He probably says ayaz after that one, but He's still waiting to come back on, while Aldershot have a throw-in over on the far side. Remember, you have to wait 30 seconds now. Them's the rules. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. It's just one of those rules. I never understand how you punish the team that has a man down injured. But there we are. Widrington in possession. Theo, the son of the manager, out on the right-hand side. Stevenson does well to stand his ground and wins the throw-in for Pools for good measure. That draws applause from those in and around the ground. An hour gone, Pools 1, Aldershot 0 on BBC Radio T Sport. Manny Desirue, the difference maker so far. But you get the feeling, Mickey, I mean, this is far from over, don't you? There are more goals in this game, one way or the other. I mean, Pools more dangerous on the counter at the minute, but Aldershot looking dangerous coming forward as they are now. Laurent Talage, the constant threat, through ball into the area. That is a good pass. Stokes can't get there, and Pools are able to clear desperately.
Yeah, really good play again from Aldershot there. Stokes has made a clever run. He's played in from Talage with a good ball, but really good defending from Waterfall. But like you say, they're bright, Rob, on they're bright in that final third. And as soon as they get possession of the ball, they're looking to make those clever runs in behind.
And when... Hold that thought. Nice ball there from Stokes through to Glover, but Pools are able to swarm around that, and Ferguson completes the clearance, looking for Manny Desirue, looks to put pressure on Cian Harries. He's rushed back to his goalkeeper, and Van Steppershoff on Harfield. Oh, Manny Desirue pulling Harfield back. The referee allowing play to go on there. That was just frustration from Manny Desirue there. I think that he was almost on the end of something, but it was always almost.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the referee goes back and does anything about that, because I think if it stopped him there, he would have definitely got a yellow card.
Well, looking at Laurent Talage before this afternoon, nice little ball around the corner. Joe Gray reads, goes back to his goalkeeper. It might have been short. Daly was interested, but Jameson completes a clearance into touch. When you see that, you have a player in Laurent Talage, 24 goals this season, 18 in the league, Swiss under-19 international, as we mentioned. He's come through the academy at Brighton and all those sorts of things. You wonder, what type of striker is he? Is he one of these just target players who is all about self and will, not leave the penalty area? He's not that at all, is it? His link-up play is really good. And Aldershot trying to make inroads down the right-hand side. Ferguson drags down Stokes, but Aldershot get nothing, and Pools have a goal kick. Yeah, he offers way more to Talage's game than just the goals.
Yeah, definitely. He comes short for the ball, Rob. He links the play up really well with the sort of other strikers that he has around him. He's willing to run the channels. He looks strong, powerful and quick, so he definitely has got a lot more to him than just scoring goals, and I've been really, really impressed with him this afternoon.
Goal kick to Hartlepool United. Drops inside the Aldershot half of play. Tommy Willard turning away from his markers. Cadney out to Glover. Pools keeping a good shape. A shout from "get at him" from the Neil Cooper stand down in front of us. Willard studs on top of the ball and then plays it behind Harfield, who has to go back about 5 yards. Pools sitting in. Aldershot trying to unpick the defence. Tom Parks does really well to intercept. Nicky Featherstone with the ball at his feet. Pass to Cook, who puts his body between man and ball. Adjumang makes something of it. Cook keeps hold of it with nice footwork, then tries to unleash the run of Joe Gray on the far side, but it was wayward and intercepted.
Just can't keep the ball, Hartlepool, at the moment. No. Cook did really well to sort of have the ball at his feet, but then the pass is a hard pass. We give the ball away, and then it gives Aldershot a chance to build up a little bit more momentum.
And that's the thing Kevin Phillips has said over recent weeks, is Pools need to look after the ball better, especially in the second half of games. Don't go long just for the sake of it. Look after it and try to build with it. And that is what he's hoping Pools will learn their lessons from. this afternoon. The rest of this game will show us if they have. Cross into the penalty area, hangs up deep. Glover is there, but it curls away from goal. Adjumang thinks about the challenge and then eases off for fear of a penalty. Infield to Widrington. Theo Widrington gets fouled. He rides 2 challenges there, Widrington, and wins a free kick smack bang in the centre of the pitch, right in the middle of the goal. It's what, 30 plus yards out, and it's a difficult angle with it being so central.
Yeah, I think he'll shoot here. I think Tillage will put his laces through it. I think he won't.
He says as he sees
he will.
away. No, he will now. He will. He most definitely will now.
It's a long way out for him to to try and curl it or anything like that. So if he's going to shoot from here, he's going to have to hit it with pace, put his laces through it, and sort of hit it as hard as he can.
A 4-man Pools wall laid up by Willard. Under the wall it tries to go from Tillage, but blocked and headed out to that far side. Harfield to Widrington. Pools with everyone back behind the ball. Out to the left-hand side. Harfield once more with the Jack Grealish style headband, pushing back his slick black hair. Now Willard twisting and turning beyond the halfway line, inside the Pools half of play. Glover, Cadney, all very patient from Aldershot, and now they turn up the tempo with the ball into the penalty area. Oh, Stevenson's overcommitted, he's gone down, nothing given. Tillage cuts it back inside the area. The shot wriggles through a crowd of bodies and Cook can scramble it away. Manny Desirue with 2 yellow shirts fighting for it and can't keep hold of it. He wants a free kick that doesn't come, and Waterfall stems the flow of the yellow shirt card attack, and Manny Desirue is in the book.
Yeah, he was absolutely fuming with the referee because he thought he had his shirt pulled. The referee didn't give it, and he's ran across 10 yards and berated the referee, and the referee's going to have another word with him now, and the referee's given a free kick for that. Not like Manny, that is it, to get that frustrated with a decision.
He's usually a very calm person.
It did look like he was getting his shirt pulled. He did really well because there was 2 or 3 around him, but the referee hadn't seen that, and Manny's just got so frustrated.
Well, at times you look to the bench and look for their reaction, and it was similar. Free kick taken short. Glover with a header inside the D, comes up to Desirue. Oh, and he's given it away. It's out to the left-hand side. Daly with a touch that helps it on its way. Widrington, a heavy touch, which invites the pressure of Cook, turning away from him. Widrington does well to keep hold of it, but he needs some help. He's trying to do it all by himself, and he runs in to Joe Gray, and Pools get a free kick, and the reaction from the home fans will tell you what they think of the performance of referee Stuart Morland this afternoon.
Yeah, Widrington he's trying that hard to try and create something. He ran into a bit of a blind alley there. He's been impressive this afternoon, and should just laid it off to one of his teammates and end up giving the foul away. And yeah, I think it was slight sarcasm from the Hartlepool crowd there that the referee give them a decision.
It's time for the my favourite Widrington fact.
Oh, go on.
Is that Theo's brother, Tommy's other son, is Kai from Strictly Come Dancing.
That's correct, yep.
Neil Madison, who is our expert borough summariser, last time I mentioned that, asked if I could put in a good word for Neil Madison to get some tickets to the Strictly final.
I thought you were going to say the Go On Strictly.
Oh no, nobody needs to see Neil Madison on Strictly Come Dancing, that's for sure.
Nobody needs to see Neil Madison in Lycra.
Well, yes, or sequins. As the ball goes out to the right-hand side, Crawford pulls on the attack with Featherstone, the captain. Now Gray, 2 yellow shirts in front of him. Infield for Crawford, tries to turn his marker and just is out-muscled by Ollie Scott, or Ollie as he prefers to be known if you judge the back of his shirt. Crawford, now Cook, pointing the way forward, lays it off to Ferguson. Now Adjumang. Those two combining once more. A rare Hartlepool United attack in this second half. Adjumang does really well to drop the shoulder one way, then the other, but runs into trouble. Ferguson may have just picked the pocket of Glover. And Aldershot able to clear. Talage running up to the halfway line, tries to unleash the run of Daly, but Stevenson does really well to read it and give it back to his goalkeeper in Pete Jameson. And Jameson there, the Harrogate loanee, just using his experience and communicating with his young right back, saying stay calm, keep calm. There's a change to tell you about from Aldershot that has seen Josh Stokes go off and Kwame Thomas come on to replace him.
Yeah, and I think Talage will just drop in that number 10 role, Rob, just by the way they've lined up. Thomas has gone straight up to the sort of the highest point of the pitch, and Talage is going to play in behind them.
As Maidenhead have doubled their lead against Barnet, and a reminder that Hartlepool United go to Maidenhead on Tuesday night. We'll have full match commentary of that one for you on BBC Radio T Sport as Pools win possession. Stokes has actually stayed on, so
it'll be a red.
Crawford goes in, and it's a yellow card. A yellow card for Tom Crawford. Well, I'm just going to try and clear that up, but Josh Stokes isn't the man who's gone off. He's actually still on the field, but Kwame Thomas is coming on, I think. We will clear that up shortly. But a change for Hartlepool United is going to see Terrell Adjumang go off. He is replaced by Shea Cooper, the Colchester loanee. And it is a very sparse Hartlepool United bench at present, given their injuries, up to 11 injuries for Pools.
Sorry, Rob, maybe Willard has gone off and Stokes has gone back into midfield and Talage has gone into that number 10 role.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Apologise.
No problem. It is. I think you're right, Mickey. It is Willard, who has gone off. So Willard off, and on to replace him, Kwame Thomas. So that is the change. Stokes very much on. I was going to say I would have been surprised if Stokes had gone off, just simply because he, especially at the start of the second half for Aldershot, he was really starting to have an impact. And Pools defenders probably would have a big sigh of relief if he had gone off. But
they've got a lot of attacking players in the field now.
There's Shea Cooper. His first involvement is to head the ball away from goal. Kwame Thomas does well to drop the shoulder. Finds space for Daly, who just lets it run across his body, and Pools are able to clear. But it's all very desperate and aimless.
It's a bit like a training ground practice at the moment of sort of wheel attack you when you get the ball. You just have to clear it and get up the pitch. But the need to try and get some ball into Manny. You can see him there. His arms are up. He's frustrated because he's getting no service into him.
Well, the space between the Hartlepool United midfield and Manny Desirue at present is about 15 yards.
They just need to try and get the midfield higher up the pitch. It's difficult because you're under a lot of pressure. You're under you're moving across the pitch a lot to try and fill in space. But when we have the ball, we've got to either try and play, keep possession of the ball, or get decent balls up and support those balls.
Luke Waterfall commits and doesn't win it. Laurent Talage trying to find the angle to shoot. He's been closed down. Space opens up for Stokes. Right-footed shot blocked by Ferguson. Rebounds out to the right-hand side for Cooper, who keeps it in. But clears it straight to the yellow shirts. And the yellow shirts of Cadney. Now Glover. Back to Stokes once more. Tries a return pass to Glover. It arrives, and then the cut back is all the way through to Joe Gray on the edge of his own penalty area. He slides in. Talage pulls him down, and it is a Pools free kick. And Talage is going to find himself in the book here for kicking the ball away in frustration.
He kicked the ball away with a bit of venom, didn't he? It was some really good play again from Aldershot down this right hand side. Link up play was good, and the actual cutback was into a really good position, but everyone had gone in front of that ball. And then Hartlepool again just do enough to get to sort of win a free kick from there. But we really need someone, Featherstone or Cook, to get on the ball and sort of have some possession of the ball.
15 minutes left to go. Hartlepool United 1, Aldershot 0 on BBC Radio T Sport. The Pools goal coming via the penalty spot from Manny Desirue on 18 minutes. This second half has been all Aldershot, with a rare Pools attack that didn't really threaten in the final third. as the attendance has been confirmed this afternoon, 4,470, with 344 making the journey from Aldershot, which is a good showing. We did joke that whether it would be 4,444 again, but
well, I don't know. Maybe my counting isn't.
I'll say it for you. It doesn't look like there's 4,470 inside the ground.
15 minutes to start counting.
Yeah, might take us a while. High ball into the penalty area. Parks heads it down, but not away. Stevenson helps it on its way up towards Desirue, who rolls away from his marker. Harfield nudges the ball back with his forehead to goalkeeper Jordi van Stoppershev. Now Glover. The Aldershot fans watching on from behind the goal away to our left, trying to lift their players for what would be, or what needs to be, 3 points for them. Pools are looking for 3 points of their own in their fight to cement their place in the National League for another season. Desirue, right hand side, sees the ball cannon off his boots and out for a throw-in, taken quickly.
It's difficult for Phillips at the moment. I'm sure he'd probably like to make another couple of subs, but is it the right time to put on a couple of young lads in a game where they're under pressure?
You have Max Story, a teenager, Alfie Steele, who's 17. You have Campbell Darcy, also a teenager, crossing the penalty area, headed away by Waterfall as Aldershot attack. Gray, and again it's just boomed away without any plan or structure, and that is inviting the pressure on to the blue and white shirts even more so. Stokes being watched closely by Featherstone. Everyone behind the ball for Pools. Manny Desirue being the only outlet, and he's just behind the halfway line. Harfield out to the left hand side once more. You can see Kevin Phillips in conversation with Tony Sweeney down in the technical area. Widrington finds Cadney. Stokes can't quite dig the ball out with his feet. He does now to Harfield. It arrives on the left hand side. The delivery is blocked first time by Gray and cleared second time by Stevenson, but it's only as far as Theo Widrington, who looks to launch one into the box. His body's in there, headed away by Waterfall, plucked out of the air by Talage, but he can't get hold of it. He might get a second chance, but Ferguson clears. Now a chance for the fresh legs of Shea Cooper, but he's being watched by Ryan Glover every step of the way. Cooper down the left hand side, skips infield now, finds Cook. Ferguson on the overlap, he receives it back into the area. Ferguson tries to pull himself up off the ground to get a second chance, but it's cleared by Aldershot. The game stretched, and Aldershot on the attack with Talage. Skips infield once more, through ball that doesn't quite make it through to James Daly. And look at Tom Parks, absolutely furious with the players in front of him. He felt he was left too exposed there. Ferguson apologises, and the inquest begins at the back.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think if Fergie doesn't go and try and help Cooper, you're not going to be able to create anything else, and they complain that he's sort of left the back four, but if not, you're just going to be under pressure for the final 12 minutes, and they've defended it okay so far, but it's a fine line, isn't it, between trying to go and sort of support your front players and just sitting in and digging in and try and win the game 1-0.
As Middlesbrough have doubled their lead against Swansea. Middlesbrough 2, Swansea 0 with 10 minutes left to play there. We're into the 79th minute here in the National League. Hartlepool United still leading Aldershot by a goal to 0. The fans down in front of us are waving their team up the pitch. Cadney finds Widrington out to the left hand side once more as Aldershot come forward, low ball into the area, and Waterfall clears the danger out into touch.
Yeah, I think that's one area Tommy Widrington probably be slightly unhappy with today, is the quality from the wide areas. They've had good chances to cross at times, and they haven't selected the right sort of technique to put that cross in.
Stokes fighting with Stevenson, being helped out by Joe Gray, 2 academy graduates there, back fighting for the cause. Crawford picks up possession, needs to keep hold of it, and he does. That's better as Joe Gray wins the free kick, and that just alleviates pressure on the Hartlepool United defence, who have been camped inside their own area for almost the entirety of this second 45.
Yeah, they haven't, and to be fair to them, they've defended the majority of those quite well. It's just a slight change again for Aldershot. Cadney's gone to play in midfield, and looks like they've gone sort of a back four, and he's stepping in at times into that midfield area.
For Kevin Phillips, Mickey, you've been in the dugout, you know this. Lenny Lawrence is there making his feelings known as well. It's a huge ask to put academy players into this type of game, isn't it?
It is, but I remember I did it with Luke James. I put Luke James in and he went on and scored
the rest is history.
A great goal, you know, but it's whether he'll know whether it's the right time to put them in, or sometimes he's forced to do it as well, you know, with the sort of an injury or something else. But he's, with 10 minutes to go, he might start thinking about maybe put one on in a forward area more than anywhere else.
As Nicky Featherstone has talked himself into the referee's notebook, he is on a yellow card now. Diagonal ball that David Ferguson can stop on the edge of his own box, needs a bit of help, and then finds a good pass in towards Cook, controls it on his chest. He's been out-muscled by two yellow shirts. Theo Witherington, space opens up for him inside the area, but Ferguson read it well and was able to clear the danger. Joe Gray, right-hand side of play, tries a back heel towards Crawford, just about makes something of it. Gray does really well. Crawford has stayed down, but Pools are on the attack. They might have the numbers game on them as well. Cook, through ball to Cooper, tries to curl one back post.
Offside.
And the offside flag is up. It wouldn't have counted. A rare Hartlepool United attack in the second half.
Yeah, he's got to keep on side there, Cooper, but finally getting a few bodies into the Aldershot half to try and sort of create something. But there was a collision with, I think it was Crawford and Cadney. It looked like a sore one, and Crawford's still down.
Well, you said it, Mickey, and Mystic Mick strikes again, because you said maybe an injury might force Kevin Phillips' hand in terms of the other academy players who are on the bench. That is the state of Pool's squad given their injury crisis, not just these last few weeks but the entire season really. Crawford is down getting some treatment from Danny O'Connor, the physio. Meanwhile, all the Aldershot players, barring Harfield and
I have to say, Robert,
Harry's are over on this near side. Sorry.
I know the young lads on the bench, but if it was me, I'd be running up and down the touchline trying to sort of force a hand a little bit. There's obviously someone's gone down injured, and all of them are still sat on the bench. I think I'd be up there trying to say, look, I'm keen to get on here because I want to make my debut.
Well, Crawford has picked himself up, dusted himself off, and will spend the next 30 seconds on the far side before he's allowed to enter the field of play once more. It's a free kick to Aldershot inside their own penalty area, taken short. Harries with the ball at his feet, the Shots centre back. 83 minutes on the clock. Pools 1, Aldershot 0. We've been here before, we've read this story before for Pools this season, haven't we? It normally doesn't end well. But can Pools exercise that demon that they've been fighting in recent weeks of holding on successfully to a lead?
You have to say, Rob, even though Aldershot have had majority of the ball and sort of been clever in that final third, they haven't created a great deal in the last 10 or 15 minutes. They started the half really brightly, but they haven't sort of tested Jameson sort of with all the good play that they have had.
Aldershot go back to their deepest lying centre back, Harries once more. And Pools trying to close down the man on the ball and force a bit of a mistake, but Aldershot taking their time, trying to pick their pass with pinpoint precision as Cadney cushions it into Talage. Now Daly, Witherington quickening the pace. Aldershot out on the left-hand side. Low ball into the area, cleared by Waterfall. Manny Dizaruwe here is one-on-one with Cian Harries, and he's won it. And the referee hasn't given the free kick, so Pools play on. And Manny Dizaruwe tries to play it into Cook. Can he sort his feet out? Can he round the keeper? He might get a second chance. He goes round the keeper. It doesn't fall for him. Manny Dizaruwe with a shot which is cleared off the line. It's still not away. Joe Gray heads out to the right-hand side for Crawford. How did that not end up in the back of the net? Crawford takes it up towards the corner flag and wins a corner. Well, Mickey Barron picked the bones out of that.
Yeah, I think it was great play from Manny, who used his strength to win the ball in the first place, ran down the line and crossed it for Crawford. I think Crawford should just hit it his first time. And
Cook.
Cook. Sorry, should just hit it in, and he's trying to cut back and sort of send the defenders the wrong way when the keeper's made a good save, and then someone's come back and clear it out. But it's probably the best chance of the second half in Hartlepool. It would have been tough on Aldershot if they'd gone 2-0 down, but I think Cook should really have just tried to hit it first time and sort of take the goalkeeper by surprise, really.
Corner to Pools, their first of the second half, into the front post. They're headed from Parks at the front post. Tom Parks makes it so much more comfortable, and Hartlepool United, make no mistake, have scored from a corner, and that is like a golden nugget this season. It hasn't happened enough, but Parks flicked on the ball in from Featherstone at the front post. It went in off the crossbar, and finally Pools have some breathing space with 4 minutes left to play. What a bonkers game. Yeah. Hartlepool United 2, Aldershot 0.
Absolutely crazy, Rob. Great ball in from Fergie, and Parks has got away from her defender and flicked it, and it was a great header right across the other side of the goal and dropped in. And that's football, Rob, isn't it? You know, they've hardly been in Aldershot's half the second half, and then managed to score a goal. Fantastic header though. Someone he wanted to go and win the header more than any defender in the box, and just glanced it right across the goal and past the goalkeeper in off the post. Now's the time to bring on the sub.
Well, yeah, now you can bring on the academy players, and I think that's what Kevin Phillips is going to try and do. There's been a change for Aldershot. More on that shortly. Cook into Shea Cooper, finds Dizaruwe, tries to flick the ball around the long way. He goes down, nothing given from the referee. Hopeful ball forward that lands at the feet of Pete Jameson. Well, Hadney Gandua has come on. I think it's Daly who has gone off. Yes, it is. James Daly has gone off. Hadney Gandua on. And Pools breaking inside the penalty area once more with Gray, but Jordi van Stappershoff able to clear. Well, now, with 2 minutes left to play, Callum Cook makes way, probably frustrated that he hasn't got his name on the score sheet this afternoon. And now Campbell Darcy from the academy comes on to replace Cook. And what a moment for the youngster.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, and I think Stevens is just going to go and play in front of him, and he'll come on and play it right back there. But brilliant for him to come on, and hopefully to start his Hartlepool career with a win would be fantastic.
Dinked ball into the centre of the pitch. Featherstone finds Cooper wrestling with his man. Ferguson looks long. Dizaruwe wins the header as well up against Cian Harries, but the offside flag is up. And as we enter the 90th minute, it almost feels unusual, Mickey Barron, to be sat here and not being nervous about the scoreline for once.
Yeah, definitely. I think that goal's sort of really helped, hasn't it? Because I think in the last sort of 4 or 5 minutes, Aldershot would have pushed even more than they have done. But it's it's a nice situation for Hartlepool to be in. They can run the clock down, they can sort of take the time now, and they have defended well in second half because they've been under quite a lot of pressure at times.
And a first goal in the blue and white for Tom Parks as well. Arrived from Livingston earlier this season. Has really made an impact in that defence alongside Luke Waterfall.
And I think another clean sheet, Rob, would be
that's
really
huge, isn't it?
Yeah, really big thing for Hartlepool.
That would be Hartlepool United's 4th clean sheet of the season, which again tells you everything. It's incredible. We mentioned goals from corner have been like golden nuggets. Clean sheets have been like gold dust.
Yeah, 4 in a season's like, it's ridiculous, isn't it? If you look at it and you think sort of, but and quite a few of them have come recently as well, haven't they? Like in the latter part of the season as well.
Another change for Pools. Manny Desirue makes way. It's the first time he's been able to get some rest. Manny Desirue, he's played every minute since he's come back from injury. He goes off after opening the scoring in the first half. And now a debut for Hartlepool United's academy striker, Alfie Steele, who was noticed at the T6 Football Academy in the National Youth North East Premier Division. 17 goals last season. He comes on wearing the number 33 to see out 6 minutes of stoppage time. And Alfie Steele, as well as Campbell Darcy, who's making his league debut, will be on cloud 9 this afternoon.
Yeah, there will be. And just to get on that pitch is massive for them, isn't it? And then just being in around the dressing room, the first team players training this week have been giving them such a lift. And I say, if you can come on and go on to win the game, it's an even better sort of experience for them.
Free kick to Aldershot. This is in a dangerous area. It's left-hand side of play, right in front of the Cyril Knowles stand. It's going to be an in-swinger right to the front post, headed away by, now Joe Gray. Is it Joe Gray or it's Crawford tangling with Cadney? Now Crawford is already on a yellow card. Cadney has got a grip of him, threw him down onto the turf. This is all getting a little bit heated and boiling over. Crawford had his hands up as if to say, look, wasn't me, but still, as Crawford has made his way from the scuffle, there remains a pushing and shoving match in there, and the referee is having a conversation with his linesman.
What it looked like, Crawford, they were wrestling for the ball, and Crawford turned around and looked at his opposition number and thought, I'm probably not going to win that one, and walked away. He's got to book the Hartlepool player as well then.
Well, I beg your pardon, I said it was Cadney. It's actually Kwame Thomas who is in the referee's notebook. I didn't see a yellow card for Tom Crawford there, obviously because he was already on a yellow card.
Surprising that he's just booked one of them when there's a tussle like that.
As Barnet have got to go back against Maidenhead, so it's Maidenhead 2, Barnet 1. Fylde have had a man sent off. It's Ebbsfleet 2, Fylde 1. And here on BBC Radio T Sport, Hartlepool United 2, Aldershot 0. Yes, you heard correctly. You have to believe me when I tell you that Pools have also scored from a corner this afternoon. It's a very rare thing. Yes, one man once said, we should write to the Times about things like that. A throw in to Hartlepool United over on the far side. So we're into 6 minutes of stoppage time, 94 minutes on the clock, as Crawford's gone down for a bang on the back of the head, which he's nursing. Mickey Barron with just under 2 minutes left to play. Who is in your thinking for your BBC Radio T Sport man of the match?
I think To be honest, I think it's been a tough game for Hartlepool, even though they're winning 2-0. I think it's been a game where it's been hard for anyone to really stand out in possession of the ball. I think Jameson's done all right as a goalkeeper, but I think the two centre-halves have probably been solid, and probably been the standout players, sort of organising, defending, and sort of making sure that clean sheet's hopefully going to be there at the end of the game.
Throw into Pools, parallel with the Aldershot penalty area. Crawford takes it up to the corner flag and sees it go out for a goal kick. Some of the 344 travelling Aldershot fans are making their way out of the ground, heading back home. What could be a damaging defeat for their playoff ambitions this season. Will remain in the top 7 despite this defeat, but teams below them, Halifax being one, with 2 games in hand on the shots, as Harfield looks to float one up towards the Pools penalty area, drops all the way through, and Campbell Darcy does well to win the free kick, and that draws applause from the Poolies in attendance this afternoon. Final 10 seconds, so Mickey Barron, your BBC Radio T-Sport man of the match, if you please.
Yeah, I think with his goal just at the sort of at the latter part of the game and the way he's defended it, I'll probably give it to Tom Parks. I think him and Lou Waterfall have been solid at the back. They've had a tough parts of the game because Aldershot have been clever and sort of really bright on the ball at times, but they've organised it well, and I think just for his goal he probably just sneaks it ahead of Luke Waterfall.
Tom Parks, your BBC Radio T-Sport man of the match, as nominated by our expert pool summariser Mickey Barron. And there is the final whistle. Hartlepool United 2, let's start that again, Rochdale. He's having flashbacks there. Hartlepool United 2, Aldershot 0. Don't let the scoreline fool you. It was far from comfortable, but a Manny Desirue penalty in the first half and a goal from a corner, yes really, right at the death, swung in by Nicky Featherstone, headed on by Tom Parks at the front post, in off the crossbar. Between those 2 goals, it was all Aldershot. Laurent Tallage being the constant thorn in the side of Hartlepool United throughout the entire game, raining shots down on Pete Jamison's goal, who made some vital saves throughout the entire match. But Pools hang on, they get a clean sheet, they get another 3 points against a playoff hopeful side. Manny Desirue and Tom Parks making the difference. Hartlepool United 2, Aldershot 0, it ends.